Additional risks include quality concerns if performance is not managed tightly through metrics and governance. Data security and privacy risks become critical because providers may handle customer and inventory data. Cultural misalignment can cause friction, differences in service mindset, communication style, or problem-solving approach. And long-term contracts can create inflexibility if business needs change, making it hard to adjust the model without renegotiation or penalties. Outsourcing comes in different models. With 3PL, companies outsource specific logistics services like transportation and warehousing. With 4PL, a partner can manage the entire supply chain coordination, often overseeing multiple 3PLs and acting as an integrator. A lead logistics provider, or LLP, is a more strategic 3PL that takes a broader optimization role. There are also specialized outsourcing services, such as freight forwarding, reverse logistics, cold chain management, and e-commerce fulfillment. Choosing the right partner is crucial. First, evaluate capabilities. Can the provider meet your operational requirements, service levels, and complexity? Financial stability matters. You need partners that can invest, survive volatility, and scale with you. Cultural fit is often underestimated but essential. Strong partnerships require aligned values and communication. Finally, review track record, performance history, references, and proven experience in your industry or similar operating conditions. Other key selection factors include geographic coverage. Do they operate where you need service now and where you plan to expand? Technology capabilities are critical for integration, visibility, and reporting. Flexibility matters. Can they adapt to volume spikes, product changes, and evolving customer requirements? Compliance practices must be strong, covering safety, labor, customs, and data regulations. And pricing must be transparent, with clear definitions of what is included, what triggers extra fees, and how performance is measured in service-level agreements. Outsourcing succeeds or fails largely based on relationship management. Clear communication and governance routines, like weekly operational reviews and quarterly business reviews, keep performance aligned. Performance monitoring through KPIs ensures accountability. Continuous improvement should be built in so the relationship evolves and gets better over time. Risk management must be shared with contingency plans and escalation processes. And relationship building matters. Trust, collaboration, and knowledge transfer help both parties solve problems faster and innovate together. Procter & Gamble offers a practical example of effective outsourcing. P&G tends to outsource selectively, keeping critical capabilities in-house while partnering for non-core activities or where partners provide scale and expertise. It leverages partners for global reach, enabling consistent service across regions. P&G also uses partnerships to drive innovation, integrating technology across the supply chain, and working with providers on new solutions. Sustainability is increasingly part of these partnerships as well, with shared goals around emissions, packaging, and responsible operations. Over time, continuous improvement strengthens these outsourcing arrangements. Finally, we come to risk management in logistics and supply chain management. In a world of global sourcing, tight inventory, and complex multi-partner networks, risk management is essential for resilience and continuity. Disruptions are not rare events anymore. They are expected. Companies that manage risk well don't just recover faster. They often protect customer trust and gain advantage while competitors struggle. Risk management is critical because supply chains are increasingly complex and interconnected, so a failure in one area can cascade quickly. Disruptions have major cost implications, from expedited shipping to production shutdowns and lost sales. Customer expectations are high. People expect fast delivery and product availability. Regulatory compliance also adds risk exposure, especially across borders. And overall, businesses need resilience, the ability to absorb shocks, adapt operations, and continue serving customers under stress. Supply chain risks come in categories. Supply risks involve raw material shortages, supplier quality problems, capacity limitations, and supplier financial instability. Demand risks include sudden demand shifts, forecasting errors, and promotions that create unexpected spikes. Process risks occur inside operations, equipment breakdowns, labor issues, production defects, and failures in internal procedures. These risks can be frequent and costly if the supply chain lacks visibility and discipline. Environmental risks include natural disasters like earthquakes, floods, hurricanes, and broader events such as pandemics. Political and regulatory risks include trade disputes, sanctions, tariff changes, customs delays, and sudden policy shifts. Financial risks include currency fluctuations, interest rate changes, and partner bankruptcy. These risks often extend beyond the organization's direct control, which makes preparedness and diversification especially important. Cyber risks are increasingly significant. Data breaches, ransomware, and system outages can stop logistics operations and damage trust. Transportation risks include delays, port congestion, capacity shortages, accidents, and infrastructure disruptions. Reputational risks involve ethical sourcing issues, labor violations, product recalls, or sustainability failures, events that can harm the brand even if the immediate operational impact is manageable. Effective risk management starts with risk identification and assessment, mapping risks, understanding probability and impact, and prioritizing. Enhanced visibility is a major strategy, using technology and tracking to see what is happening across suppliers, inventory, and transportation in real time. Diversification is another major lever, avoiding over-reliance on a single supplier, region, or transport route, so the network has alternatives when disruptions occur. Building flexibility is essential. This may include flexible capacity, multi-sourcing, alternative transportation options, and postponement strategies. Strategic inventory is also a tool. While excessive inventory is costly, targeted buffer stocks in critical areas can protect service during disruptions. Strong supplier relationships reduce risk because communication improves, collaboration increases, and recovery is faster when issues arise. In many cases, the best risk mitigation is partnership, not just contracts. Other strategies include risk transfer through insurance and contractual terms. Business continuity planning is crucial. Clear procedures for responding to disruptions, including escalation paths and recovery actions. Predictive analytics can help anticipate problems by detecting early warning signals in demand, supplier performance, or transportation capacity. And collaboration and information sharing across partners strengthens the entire network, because timely data prevents panic reactions and enables coordinated decisions. A structured risk management framework typically follows these steps: identification of risks, assessment of likelihood and impact, development of mitigation strategies, ongoing monitoring, and response planning for when disruptions occur. Importantly, plans should be tested through simulations or scenario exercises so the organization knows how to react under pressure. Risk management is not a document. It is a continuous process that improves as the business learns. Toyota provides a strong case of risk management learning, especially after the 2011 tsunami in Japan. Toyota invested in supply chain mapping, understanding exactly where critical components came from and which suppliers were single points of failure. It pursued standardization where possible, reducing the number of unique parts and increasing interchangeability, and it strengthened collaborative relationships with suppliers, which improved coordination and accelerated recovery when disruption occurred. Toyota also used strategic buffers for certain critical components, adding inventory only where it protected the most value. The company improved quick response capabilities through better visibility, clearer escalation, and faster decision-making. Information sharing became more systematic across tiers of suppliers, not only direct suppliers, and Toyota adopted a continuous improvement mindset toward risk. Each disruption became an input for improving the system rather than a one-time crisis to forget. To summarize, risk management is essential for resilience. It requires a comprehensive approach across supply, demand, operations, transportation, and technology. The goal is to balance efficiency with protection, being lean but not fragile. And it must be continuous, because risks evolve as supply chains, technologies, and global conditions change. Let's recap what we've covered so far. We started with core operating strategies like push versus pull and hybrid models, along with just-in-time and vendor-managed inventory. We also discussed cross-docking as a flow-focused warehousing strategy and 3PL as a way to leverage external logistics expertise. These approaches shape how inventory moves, how quickly customers can be served, and how costs are managed. We then explored strategic planning, how to align logistics with business objectives and turn strategy into measurable action. We covered network design, including facility location decisions, transportation mode selection, inventory policies, customer service design, and enabling technologies. We examined outsourcing, its benefits, risks, and partner management practices. And we finished with risk management, types of risks, mitigation strategies, and frameworks that help build resilient supply chains. Before closing, consider these reflection questions. How would you decide whether push or pull is more appropriate for a specific product line? What are the key vulnerabilities of just-in-time systems, and how can companies address them without losing efficiency? How should an organization evaluate whether to keep logistics in-house or outsource to a 3PL? If a company wants to support an omni-channel strategy, what steps should it take to redesign its logistics network? And finally, how has COVID-19 changed supply chain risk management, and what lessons should be applied going forward? Thank you for joining this chapter on logistics and supply chain strategies. The key message to remember is that supply chain strategy is always context-dependent. There is no universal best model, only the best fit for your products, customers, markets, and risk environment. Organizations that win are the ones that make trade-offs deliberately, design their networks to support their promises, and continuously improve as conditions change.